So we have this question, let's say W is equal to 2yex minus log of z, where we have x is log of t square plus 1 and y is tangent inverse t and z is e raised to power t. Okay, so we need to find out the dw by dt at t is equal to 1. So of course, so now if you see that w is your dependent variable and there are three intermediate variables and they all are dependent upon t, right? So we'll be finding dw by dt by using the chain rule. And what was that? Dw by dt is equal to, first of all, curly w by curly x and then dx by dt plus curly w by curly y into dy by dt plus curly w by curly z into dz by dt. So let's put the values of this. So curly w upon curly x. So if you differentiate with respect to x only, so you'll get 2yex dx by dt. So this is your dx by dt. So that would be 2t upon t square plus 1. Curly w upon curly y. So that would be 2ex into, this is there, so 1 upon 1 plus t square plus 1, right? Can I write it this way? Plus, so curly w upon curly z, so that would be minus 1 by z into dz by dt. So that would be what? E raised to power t. So can you put the, the values there and can you find out the things, right? Can you do this?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that would be slightly lengthy, but it's not that much tough. So you can do that. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So let's do the one more question which contain two variables. And of course, in that case, we'll be using the partial form of that, which we have discussed in the last lecture, this one. Okay. So if we have two variables, right, we have two separate tree diagrams for the partial derivatives. So now let's say we have a question, and that's what w is equal to xy plus yz plus zx. And x is something which is u plus v, y is u minus v, and z is uv. So now you see that these intermediate variables are dependent upon more than one variable. Okay, so we'll be discussing only about u, or we'll be only discussing about the v. So we'll have two tree diagrams in this case. Okay. Okay, so let's say, so of course, if you want to draw a diagram, that would be w, x, y, and z. And here all are dependent upon uv. So you will take one at a time. That means once u, and in the second time you'll take v, right? So let's say curly w upon curly u, that would be curly w upon curly x into curly x upon curly u. Curly w upon curly y upon curly u. Curly w upon curly z upon curly u, right? So here you can again substitute the values. Curly w upon curly x, what would be that?
Y plus
Here,
Z.
y plus z, right?
Z.
And what is curly x upon curly u?
1.
1.
Yes. And curly w upon curly y?
X
X
plus
plus
Z.
Z.
And curly y upon curly u? 1.
1.
Plus curly w upon curly z, x plus y?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Curly z upon curly u, that
V.
is
V.
V.
okay. So is that fine? Are you getting this?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
now
Yes, sir.
let's substitute the values, right? So let's substitute the values. So y plus z. So what is your y and this is your z? Okay, so u minus v plus uv. And what is your x plus z? So you add these two things. That means u plus v plus uv. And x plus y. So you add x and y. What do you get? 2u times the v. Okay. Are you getting this? So now v and v will get cancelled. U and u will become 2u. And uv and 2uv. So it becomes 4u. So of course you know that curly w upon curly uv would be something which will be dependent upon u and v.
U.
Right? So u and v both partial derivative है ना? तो
Yes,
v भी आ सकता
yes,
है.
sir.
Okay, so that's why I'm saying this. So can you do it? Can you do this curly w upon curly v? So I'm leaving this as an exercise. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Is it fine?
Sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
sir.
Are you with me on this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see this. Now let's do few more questions on this. So there are few hard questions which I'll be, I'll give it to you and just try to do it from the exercise as well. So let's say, let me start from gradient and directional derivative. Can you see this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So this has to be more intuitive, right? You need to understand it. So gradient is something which you have already done maybe in the physics, right? So let me explain those things. Let me revisit those things which we have already done. So we know that. So let's say you have a curve and you want to find out the derivative at this point. So this is what, let's say you want to find out at x is equal to x naught. So dy by dx at x is equal to x naught is nothing but slope of tangent at x naught and f of x naught. Is it fine? Is it fine that you know?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Or we may sometimes, write it as x naught and y naught, right? True? Are you with me on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me one thing. If we are doing it in case of partial derivative, then what happens? So let me draw the picture again. So try to focus on this. Okay. So this is x-axis, this is y-axis, and this is z-axis, right? And we know that since we have a function, let's say z of f of xy, then we know that the graph of the function will be of 3D, right? So that would be the output na, xy and f of xy. 3 tuple honge na? This is something which we already discussed, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you are with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, so let's say this is a kind of sheet which we get at z, right? So this would be the kind of, let me make it more nice. And this, let's say this. Okay, so what is your partial derivative of x? Let's say this is the point. So this is the domain x naught y naught, right? Let you pick this line, this point. And what is the partial derivative of f with respect to x at this point? Can you tell me? Geometrically. So basically, if we want to determine the partial derivative of f with respect to x, right? With respect to x at x naught, that means what? That means we are fixing the y, right? So how I explained this? So it is something like that. So this is the line, right? So this line is passing through what? X naught and Y naught. So certainly this is a line which is parallel to the x-axis, right? And then you think of a plane like this, which is slicing that sheet. That's what I've told. And when you slice this sheet, this kind of shape will occur, right? And then, at point x naught, y naught, if you are getting the derivative of this curve, and that would be the slope of tangent, right, to this curve. So curly f upon curly x would be nothing but the slope of tangent at x is equal to x naught, keeping y fixed, right? Is it okay? Are you with me on this? Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me explain this again. So I'm saying that you have a line which is parallel to the x-axis, right? You fix your y coordinate. That means there is no movement around the y-axis. So the line will pass through only this point, right? Because since it is passing through x naught, y naught, so this point would be what? Y naught 0, right? Are you with me on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And then you try to imagine a plane which is along the dotted lines, and this plane will slice that sheet, the sheet which we have, this sheet. So once this sheet will get sliced, then you imagine that this kind of shape will be there, right? That green thing. Are you getting this? Right.
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
along on that shape, this is your x naught point, this is your x naught, y naught, and z naught point, right? So now you are getting the derivative of f with respect to x only, right? And then you keep your y fixed. So that would be nothing but slope of tangent again, just similar to this, right? Why? Because here we have two dimensions. In this picture, we have two dimensions and we are getting the slopes of this. And here we have fixed one dimension, that is y. And now we are left only with x and z. So we are getting the dimensions of, we are getting the 2D picture of that. Okay. So that green curve is a 2D picture. Then again, we are getting the slope of the tangent along that curve. Is it fine? Is it fine? Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Getting this?
Sir, can you please switch to the previous slide?
Yes.
The more previous one.
Yes.
Okay, sir.
So, right? Are you getting this? Is it fine?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So, can we move forward?
Yes,
sir.
Okay. So, now what happened if I take the partial derivative of f with respect to y? Okay. So, I'll write the things over here. But I'll describe the geometrically over here. So of course, when you're taking this thing, you're taking partial derivative with respect to y. That means you'll keep your x as fixed, right? You'll keep x fixed. And that means what? You will take a line which would be parallel to the y-axis. Okay. So that means so that means you are taking this line. Are you with me on this?
Yes, sir.
So this will be the point which would be x naught 0. And what you have done? You have fixed the x coordinate, right? And now you are moving along the y coordinate. So imagine a plane along this line which will slice that sheet. Now if this plane will slice that sheet, then this kind of curve will generate. right?
Yes, sir.
Is it okay? Are you with me on this?
Yes, sir.
Right. So when you find the derivative, the partial derivative, then it would be nothing but getting a slope of this tangent. Okay. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
At
sir.
which point? At which point? At again the same point,
X
x
naught, Y
naught
naught.
and z naught. Right? Is it okay? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
So basically, this is nothing but slope of tangent, right, at x naught, y naught, which is what? Here we are taking parallel to y-axis. True? Are you with me on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So these are the things which,
Yes,
which
sir.
we have actually, we have done those things, but we are revisiting those things. Why we are revisiting those things? Because can you see that is there any weakness in these two things? Can you point out a general question which should arise? Anybody? See, the only weakness is a natural question arises that how to get the slope of tangent parallel to any line, right? Why? Because we have these two things. We are saying that either our tangent is parallel to the x-axis or our tangent is parallel to the y-axis. But what happens if I take the same picture? Okay, if I take the same picture, that means this, and this, and yeah, and you make a sheet just like this, and if I say that now your new line, your new blue line is this, is it a line which is parallel to the x-axis?
Sir.
Is it a line?
No, sir.
No,
Is
sir.
it a line which is parallel to the y-axis?
No, sir.
Right. So what happens when you try to find out a plane on along that line? That means you are basically slicing it somewhere here, and the curve will look like this, right? And I want to ask you, if this is a line which is passing through x naught, y naught, the same point, can you find the slope over here? Can you find the slope of the tangent passing through this line and parallel to L? This is our question. Are you getting my point? Right?
Yes, sir.
So curly f upon curly x was good. Curly f upon curly y is also good, but they can give you the slope of the tangent only along parallel to the x-axis or parallel to the y-axis respectively. They cannot give you the slope of the tangent which is parallel to the line along any direction. Right? Are you getting this? Are you getting the question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So we'll be
Yes, sir.
solving this question right now, that how to get the slope of the tangent. So our question is what? Our question is how to get the slope of tangent which is parallel to any line L passing through x naught and y naught. Right? Are you getting this? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
So let me call this line as L. Okay, so let me call this line as L, and let's say that L has a component AB, which I call it as direction ratio. Okay, so you know the direction ratio, right? Right? You know direction ratios. You've done
Yes,
the
sir.
3D. Okay, so so any line. So I'll assume that the L is a unit vector just to make it easy. That's why we are considering the unit vector in that direction. Okay, serious. So basically, what is happening over here? So any line which is passing through x naught, y naught, and having direction ratios AB can be written as, or more precisely, I should write it as equation of any line. Equation of any line, right? Are you getting this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So equation of any line which is passing through this point and having direction ratio AB can be written as x minus x naught upon A, y minus y naught upon B, right? Is equal to some number, let's say T. Right? Are
Yes,
you with
sir.
me on this? Are you with me on this? Okay. So any xy on this line can be written as AT plus x naught and BT plus y naught. Right? Right?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
For
sir.
different values
Yes,
of
sir.
t, right? So
Yes, sir.
for different values of t, any point on line can be viewed as x naught plus at and y naught plus bt. So this is the any point which can be, for the different values of t. So we may mark this point as at x naught plus at comma y naught plus bt. Is it okay? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So is this a point on the domain?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, sir.
This is a point on the domain.
Yes.
So
Yes,
what
sir.
would be the point on the range? We'll take the image of this point. Okay. So this point will look like x naught plus at, y naught plus bt. And how we calculate z? We'll simply put this point f of x naught plus at, comma y naught plus bt. Right? Are you with me on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Because why? Sorry, because z is our f of xy. That's why. So 3D point will look like x naught plus at, y naught plus bt, comma f of x naught plus at. Let me erase this so that we can write it clearly. So x naught plus at and y naught plus bt. So that would be 3D point, right? Okay. True?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, and if you see that, now you want to get the derivative at this point. Okay. Let's say you want to get the derivative at any arbitrary point. So how are you going to do it? So basically, here your chain rule will come into the picture. So z is equal to f of x naught plus at, y naught plus bt. And here you have two variables which are intermediate, and they are what? X naught plus at and y naught plus bt. And finally, this variable depends upon what? The single variable t. Right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So getting the slope along along a point, let's say on this point, if you want to get the slope of the tangent, how are you going to do it? You'll simply take the derivative, right? So you'll take df by dt. Okay? Is it fine?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes, sir.
But we want to take the slope at this point rather than any arbitrary point. We want to find out the slope at this point, right? So that blue was our question. True? Are you with me on this?
Yes, sir.
So how
Yes,
you
sir.
get the blue? Simply putting t to be 0.
0.
Right? So basically, so that blue slope which you want to determine will be obtained if you calculate this thing. That means df by dt at t is equal to 0. Right? And by chain rule, how are we going to do it? Curly z, curly f upon curly x into dx by dt, curly f upon curly y into dy by dt. Right? True?
Yes, sir.
Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
So why t is equal to 0?
Because we want to determine the slope at x naught, y naught. Right? So this is any general point. So if you put t is equal to 0, you will reach over there.
Okay, sir.
Right?
सर
Yes.
सर इसमें ये कैसे पता चलेगा कि अगर हम t की कोई भी वैल्यू ले तो वो तो लाइन L तो लाइक इनफाइनाइट है ना, वो तो कितना भी एक्सटेंड हो जाएगा तो उसके
तो
डोमेन
ऑफ कोर्स
आ रहा है.
तो ऑफ कोर्स t की अलग अलग वैल्यूज के लिए सारे पॉइंट्स जनरेट होते जाएंगे.
हाँ सर, तो मतलब t की कितनी वैल्यू तक होगी कि
जितनी
उसके
जितना
डोमेन,
तुम्हारा मन करे.
फिर उसके अकॉर्डिंगली रेंज और हमारा ग्राफ भी एक्सपैंड करता जाएगा ना.
ट्रू ट्रू, वो तो है ही ना, इनफाइनाइट चलता जाएगा.
हाँ सर, ठीक है.
ठीक है. So is it okay? Are you with me on this?
यस
Yes,
सर.
sir.
Right. So what is your curly f upon curly x? Let's simply we call it as curly f upon curly x. And what is your dx by dt? Right. So this was your x. So what is your dx by dt?
A.
Can you tell me?
A.
A. Yeah.
A,
And what is your dy by dt?
B,
B.
B.
B. Yes. So curly f upon curly y into b. Are you with me on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right. So now, can I write in this way that your df by dt is equal to curly f upon curly x I plus curly f upon curly y j dot product with ai plus bj? Can I write in this way?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? Are you with me on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is something which we call it as the gradient of function, which probably you have done in the physics as well. Okay? At point x naught and y naught. And this is the unit vector in that direction. Okay? This was the unit vector na? In that direction, ai bj. That's what we have supposed, right? Okay? So this is something which we call it as directional derivative of f in the direction of u. Yeah, in the u direction. सीधा भी बोल सकते हैं. So in order to make the things more clear, right? So that you can convince that, so that you can agree to the fact that, okay, this is the directional derivative and that's how it comes, right? And that's how we can use the chain rule, and that's how our chain rule is useful in deriving the directional ratio part, directional derivative part, right? So we'll be using only this formula. In questions, we'll be using only this formula. True?
Yes, sir.
So this will be the part of your exam only. So our most of the question will be based on this. Okay?
Yes, sir.
So that's it for today.